Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
Okay. Just saw a movie called Heretic. And yes, they're actually talking about religious, heretics. It applies, or I guess it plays a role in the movie. What do we have? We have two Mormons, apparently. I wasn't paying too much attention in the beginning. Two Mormons that go to they're doing missionary work, I guess, to talk like like Jehovah Witness shit, and knock on your door. We'd like to tell you about our religion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy, it's like a rainy day. Don't worry, it starts snowing at some point. I guess it's wintertime. But it's raining, and they're like, oh, fuck. Oh. And the dude's like, well, come on inside. Come on in. We can't do that unless there's another woman here. Well, my wife's here. Did they explain that part? I missed it. Did they explain was there like some sort of signal or something that said that there was another woman in the house? Anyone? You were here, Jesse. Did you see anything like that?
I didn't see that.
Or did they just take his word for it, just went in the house anyways?
He said a lot of shit that wasn't true.
Yeah, but they were like, we can't come in unless we know there's another woman here. Right? They said that. And then he's like, oh no, my wife's upstairs. Or my wife's here. And they're like, okay. Were they like that? Or like, okay. And they just go in the house? Or did they check or something? Or
there were other women in the house.
You know what I mean? From their perspective, are they just gonna go in, or are they gonna actually find out if there's another person there? Whatever. They ended up in the house. It turns into as far as the synopsis calls it, a cat and mouse game. But using, I don't even know. Is it like Richard Dawkins versus Richard Dawkins with a mixture of 2000s YouTube conspiracies about how all religions are fake and it's just used to control you type shit, mixed with puzzles? Maybe the puzzles are for the audience, and fuck, I don't know. I don't know. But the girl maintains her faith, I guess. But she also does puzzle solving, which is the thing that actually gets her safe. I don't know, man. I don't know. But hey, man. Religion, man. That can control your mind or some shit. Fucking religions, bro, or belief. Did he use politics at all? That'd be interesting as well. Did Hugh Grant use politics as another type of trick?
No, he just used religion as the form of control.
Okay, he used theology essentially. Even simulation theory was used, or actually, he called it simulation hypothesis. So, I guess ideology. Well, yeah, ideology, but explicitly theology. Because yes, simulation theory is definitely theological. I mean, you're essentially saying something religious, in my opinion. But I guess he does all that he's so passionate and obsessed with, I guess, debunking the religions and showing that they're strictly about control that he tortures young women. Were they religious? Was the girls in the cages religious, or were they just other random girls? Does he target religious women?
He's the first stop from the Mormon Church.
Apparently. Man, people just keep disappearing. What happened?
I'm taking it that they were previous people that arrived. That's where they would have ended up. I'm guessing. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not really explained.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is more of the review part. I would consider that pretty interesting of a concept to put into a movie, and to explore that idea. It's just I don't think they actually explore the idea that they're putting forward as a premise, especially from the main bad guy, right, or the only bad guy, the Hugh Grant character, right? They don't fully go there because let's be real, when you're dealing with movie theaters, mass population, I'm not gonna say big budget movie, but like definitely getting it's getting promotion, it's getting marketing. It's how I heard of the fucking movies from trailers and other reviewers talking about it. Some big mainstream reviewers talking about it. Uh, they know they can't go to certain bounds, or they're limited. They can't actually go fully with the idea, like fully express the idea and fully explore the idea. Right? They're going to relegate it to certain religions or certain things you can say about particular religions, but they can't go full bore. Right? They can't bring up Muhammad. Right? They can't do that. It's like it kind of makes it tacky on its face. Because like I know you can't go here with what you're doing with this character. Obviously, the religion where you can go the furthest is something more of like a Christian denomination, right? We hear about rapist priests all the fucking time in movies. Let's be honest about those. A lot of the time, at least. Right? If you bring up Catholic Church, usually rapist priest is brought up at some point in modern day movies, right? Uh, like they can go to certain lengths with Christianity. They can't do it with the other religions, and we all know why. Let's not. It's not. Let's not pity pat around this shit. They can't go there. They can't actually go there. Maybe they want to go there, but they know their movie will never get made or made by A24. Because let's be real, we're dealing with pussies here. They can't go there, bro. Which makes it like look tacky. Even if the creators had like a certain vision they wanted to go with for the movie, their end thing couldn't go there. Let's be honest. If they wanted to point out the fucking like, look how fucking ridiculous this idea is in this religion. There's certain they probably. I wonder if they were like couldn't even go to Scientology without getting like sued or something. So it's like, so forget about Judaism or Islam or any of these other fucking things. Imagine like Scientology if they just weren't allowed to go there because of worried about getting sued or like we don't want those legal battles, man. We're just some tiny movie. Don't worry about us. If you knew about that, if you see how the hot dogs are made in the background, like it kind of makes it look tacky. And it's like, damn, that kind of hurts the art. Unless, now here's what would make it like still tacky, but in a different way. Instead of like worrying about background deals and worrying about lawyers and all that shit and protests and all that shit, as if the writer and creators got exactly what they wanted, where it really was like maybe they grew up in the Christian religion or something like that, and they just have I need my vengeance through art. So they don't even like care about any other ideology; just care more about like, Christianity or whatever, anything, whatever they ran into in their lives. And you're like, that idea is bullshit. Let me show it in a movie. That would just make the writers kind of tacky, or like I guess uneducated. So interesting, man. And like, I hope everyone gets that. Like, it's kind of clear as day, right? Like, you can't say certain things. They can't have Hugh Grant go up there like, what if I draw Muhammad, some magic ghost gonna take me away? Like, they can't do that. They know they can't do that. They can't even mention that fucking like really mention or like shit on the idea of Muhammad. They know they can't do that, right? Or certain portions of Judaism they can't cover. But I mean, like in modern day America, at least, like yeah, Christianity you can fucking like talk about and shit on. I'm not even like a religious person like that. I'm just saying like it's kind of obvious, right? It's pretty fucking obvious. Whatever. Uh, yeah, that for me that kind of stales the storyline. Like I'm not looking at you like a risk taker because you're repeating 2000s YouTube shit, and you can't even go all the way with it either. You gotta you gotta go part way because you're worried about this or that. I mean, simulation theory. I mean, that'd be okay to mention, but like there are major religions that you kind of passed over, like really, instead of going like full deep
talk
into.
about simulation theory in this?
Yeah, near the end.
Oh, okay.
Or that the girl's a robot or something. She's an NPC. This is a simulation.
Is that what you talk? Is that what you're talking about? If you die, you actually go to the real world.
That's what Hugh Grant said to the girl. Like, because this
Okay.
is a simulation, and if you die here, you go to the real world. Like your video game ends or something. So it's like,
Well, I was confused there. I understood that he was saying that the other. I thought he was saying the girl was a robot, but that she is real. But
yes,
I
yes.
was confused a little bit, like with that whole scene,
Well,
because you don't
apparently,
know if. I guess I kind of was following the story and somewhat believed like it was she was a robot, but then the ending kind of threw that out. I don't know. I don't know how it
nah.
ended. I don't even know how it ended. That
I mean, I don't think she even believed. Like, let's say she didn't just figure it all out, like where they do like the end reveal where the character explains how I knew exactly what you were doing and blah 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 blah, and then I end up turning the tables on you and tricking you. Let's say she didn't even know that, but she would realize how the stupid that is. Like, like I don't know. He could have did so many things to pull out a little like nail looking thing. I don't know what the fuck it was. I guess it was birth control. I've never even heard of that thing before. Pulls it out of her fucking arm, and as I see,
Oh, the
look, she's a
the,
robot. Told you.
the
I don't know how he knew that was there. Either I did he control like did he control their entire lives leading right up to their moment of meeting each other? Like, did he control all of that to where he knew she had a birth control device in her fucking right arm? Like
that
exactly
is
where it
very
was?
Sam Harris.
maybe it's so common now. That one out of
Maybe,
two
but she's a
girls.
fucking
One out
nun.
of two girls has one.
Yeah, but she's like a sister of the Mormon church. Would you expect her to have it?
Oh, the
He
Mormons?
would kind of
Probably
have
not.
to know that, right? Right? Am I tripping?
Well, I
He
mean,
was
are they from Utah and
Did he
they ended up
scan
in
her?
somewhere where there's snow?
he said some
Utah worm might be on birth control.
Once
he
again,
said
I
something
missed
about
portions of
like
this movie.
why the match wasn't lighting, although he made it sound like she was a robot, but he said that the match wasn't lighting because and some other thing that he figured out she was not real. I don't know. There's some kind of like there's some head fakes there, so
Yeah, well,
can't really believe them.
he knew she was real. That's the thing. He knew she was real. But I thought it was a sleight of hand. Like he had something in his hand and pretended to pull it out of her arm. But apparently, this girl knew exactly what it was when he pulled it. Like it's like I knew what that was. That was a birth control thing that she had put in or whatever. Like how the fuck did this guy know that? I don't know. I'm confused. But let's be real. The whole point of the movie wasn't to do with the plot. Really, the plot was not the
Yeah,
point of the movie. Let's be real.
but he was. I think that whole part, like, yeah. So there were some weird things that don't matter. Like, I think you're right there. But what she was doing is she was like intentionally saying, "Wait, that's not. This lady didn't resurrect. There's some kind of actual explanation for it. This girl, no, she had to reason her way through and logic to how what she saw would actually make sense, and she didn't go to like some spiritual direction.
Yeah,
But
but that's kind of like what I mean. Like that wasn't even. They didn't care how they put that in there, but they were going for that, and it wasn't really about the plot. It's saying something about, I guess, thinking or critical thinking or whatever, right?
Mhm,
I don't think it was
mhm.
about. I don't think it was like
Yeah,
trying to like hit some sort of plot point there. Even though it played a role in the plot, obviously, but I don't think the point of the movie had anything to do with the fucking plot, like at all, in my opinion.
right.
So, but for me, it's like, what do I do? Like, do I go, whoa? Like, I don't get that feeling from the movie. Like I said, they're bounded. I know there's rules, walls, blocks, blockers, all that shit that they can't go to where like it kind of kills this whole idea of critical thinking because you're literally exemplifying that you can't actually do that. Like, if you keep going in that direction, let's say you're questioning all religions, right? Right, just for critical thinking's sake, right? The movie showed you that you can't actually go that far. Like if you look at how the hot dogs are made of the movie, you can't actually go that far. Like the people telling you to critically think can't actually go to those levels of critical thinking in their art.
So this is
That's
what I
why it like
do
looks
disagree
tacky
with
as
you
shit.
here on this point because you
How's that?
said it so many times.
How's that?
In the part I disagree with, not that like okay whether they can or can't, like they have boundaries. There are boundaries, but I think when you say that, like a lot of times you tell me like I'll fill in some gaps that you said don't like do the writing for the writer. Like if
Yeah.
was it in the movie or was it not in the movie, right? Like you catch me a lot of times with that because I'll just fill in some gaps, but I don't fully see like what's not there was like I don't think they needed to go to every single thing. I mean, I think they touched on
Oh,
like
dude.
to me to
Okay,
me
go.
putting the Torah, the Quran, all of those things on there. I think they were saying it's all in play. Like how they do it, okay, you
No,
might
no, no.
object to that, but
They,
I
dude, can
I
they
think
really?
they're
You want
all
to?
like that. I think they were trying to go with use some form of logic or reason. This is what he was representing, and that like these are all the same thing.
Yes, they are saying
That's
that, but they know they can't say that. They're saying that. They're saying like, yeah, all religions are a control, but they can't. There's certain religions where they can't go into detail and exemplify why they would be considered control. They can't go there. Since I recognize that, it makes it look tacky. Does that make sense? Or is that me feeling like could they have gone there and they're just like, we don't want to go there. Fuck that. Leave. Let's just show the Torah, show the fucking Quran, just show the books, but we're not going to focus on them because we just don't want to. We want to focus on Christianity more or simulation theory or whatever the fuck. Like we just we don't even care to go that deep into that. Just show a book about it or something. Show one of their books and we'll move on. Is that you? Did you think that was their thought process with that? I don't know. Like I didn't pick. I would figure that they do not want to go there. They don't want those problems with what happens in society. People start catching wind, like, hey, this movie said this about your religion. Someone's gonna get pissed off, man. And with Christianity, it seems like it's easier to throw shit at, and no one's gonna like fight back so hard. All right?
well, I know that they're not gonna do like a drawing of Muhammad or not like that like that,
They're
right?
not
But
gonna draw them. They're
mainly
not gonna debunk them. They're not gonna do that. Like they're not gonna do that either. They're not gonna
I
debunk.
thought they were debunking religions, except for the ending. Like I don't even know what they were trying to conclude at the end. Like that was kind
Okay,
of weird.
the center of Christianity, right, is the Jesus guy, the Christ guy, right? And they basically say, like, oh, this is a copy from other things. Like when they played the Creep song with it, and like, oh, Lana Del Rey stole this song, like basically saying, like, oh, it's unoriginal, or it's borrowed. This character's borrowed from other historical places.
Yeah, he did actually like he did literally go into like it wasn't even he didn't even end it at Christianity. Well, Mormonism, I guess it's maybe a form of it,
Yeah,
but
it is.
um, but like he just said that each time the message was diluted from its original, and then he goes all the way back to like what was it the Egyptians, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
he
I thought
reread the beginning of the Zeitgeist movie, like the first Zeitgeist movie. That's what the first part of Zeitgeist was. That's why I kept referencing 2000s YouTube. But go ahead.
I thought he covered like the current things, and then he brought it back. But the whole point was that there's it's like a magic show. Is like what he was trying to
Yeah,
say.
the point where the reveal happened, right? It's all about control.
Is control.
Say, okay, I get that, but there are certain things like I know you won't say, which means it isn't really like that. Like your point gets dampened, if that makes sense, because
Oh,
the
it's like the
zeitgeist or the
control.
YouTuber from 2006, right? If they make a video about like religions are false, they're used to control you, they're going to cover every little thing up and down, right? They're going to cover the entire topic all the way around, all the religions, anything that seems like some form of control. Oh, look at all the churches, the mosques, the temples, look at all this shit. It's all here to control you, right? But in this movie, like, I'm very sure there are things they will not fucking say, bro, which makes it kind of tacky to me. Like, oh, I know you have a limit. There's a limit on you where you can go here.
Like a message against control that is controlled message.
Yes, 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 yes. That is it. That is it exactly. They're trying to tell you about critical thinking, but they don't actually go to the full extent of like, not that someone could actually, like, on their own choose, like, I'm going to go over this particular religion and just show the books of the other, or whatever the fuck, right? I'll say the simulation theory, whatever the fuck they say. Like, someone can honestly do that. I just don't believe these fools are that. I think these fools are like, yo, I can't go there because I can't go there. Like, even if I wanted to go there, I wouldn't go there because I can't go there. That's what it looks like to me. Forgive me, but that's what it looks like to me. It's like a scene, a movie scene that has some sort of like, all right, we're gonna shoot this scene where, okay, these planes crash into the building, and then right on the day when they want to release their movie, like 9/11 happens, like, okay, pull our movie out of theaters right now. I know it's our artistic vision, our imagination. We put it to the screen and all that shit, but we gotta pull the movie down. Pull the movie out. Sorry. It's like, why? Because, like, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that. You can, but you can't. And studios definitely not letting that shit through. Let's be real. Who knows if there's different cuts of this movie? Hey, how about that? I'll be like, okay, it's not tacky. If there's different cuts of the movie and they're like fully going like full bore about this idea about, oh, this ideology is here to control you, like fully going there, then I'd be like, okay, my bad. But as of this point right here, A24, sorry, I don't believe it, bro. I just don't buy it. I don't know, though, but I don't fucking buy it. I don't think they can. I don't think they're allowed to. And that makes it tacky. In my opinion.
Right.
My humble
All right, I know the movie was not all that deep or anything, but now that we got to the end, what do you think about, like, they kept going deeper down into dungeon and then a dungeon inside of a dungeon, and that being like an exploration of actually going deeper into the whatever topic or knowledge or something? Was that just made up, maybe, or were they trying to?
No, there's definitely an Alice in Wonderland through the rabbit hole style thing there. Once again, 2000s YouTube. There was definitely an element to that where, as she's getting deep, like, she's figuring more about the mystery as she's getting deeper into the house, right? But I guess her end reveal thing that she finds, at the core of the house in the maze she was in, she finds out that, like, oh, even though, my prayers don't actually do anything, I do it just because it's, like, nice to do. I think was her end thing she came away with. Like, this is just nice to do. That's why I do it. And it's like, damn, even that's like a lacking exploration of the idea of religions in the first place. It's like, if you're trying to, like, give a consolation prize to religion, I don't think that's it. I don't think. Because then again, you're essentially becoming your own form of, like, people used to say that about the I guess they call them the quote unquote new atheists, like the new atheist movement. Like, people call them, like, oh, you guys, like, became your own religion, kind of saying what's what and how the world works and all that shit. So it's like, like, they kind of walk away with when the girl's, like, coming away with that expression, like, she's kind of saying, yeah, maybe it's bullshit, but I get to pray, or it's good for me. It feels good for me, or some shit like that. Or we get to, I don't even know. I don't even know what the end.
Are they saying
walkaway
that the
is.
religion won at the end? Is it?
No, it lost and it won.
Logic in the head.
It lost and it won. just like the
Okay.
2000s YouTube
Oh,
idea. Like it's straight up. It's like, oh, well, this is bullshit, right? There's no magic guy. There's no magic guy who walked on water or who, spawned bread and fish out of nowhere, right? That guy didn't happen. But isn't it cool to be nice to people?
I kept getting Reddit vibes from it. Like somebody took an r/atheism post and let AI turn it into a movie kind of thing.
yeah, it could be.
But
I
even
don't know if
then,
it's
it would
that far.
have like went a little bit further than what it did.
I mean, I think it's an
Maybe
interesting concept. Just it's to me like YouTube kindergarten. But I don't know. Maybe there's a cut. There's a cut out there of the movie that's showing like, okay, we can actually. There's no bounds to us. Like we go full fledged with all our thoughts fully. There's no bounds to it. Right?
like I feel like I'm stretching to just understand what the final message was, like like the conclusion. Like the religion goes on, but it knows more now. It doesn't believe as much. I have no
No,
idea.
no.
I have no idea what that
Dude.
was.
It's the Joe Rogan. Like this is Rogan's thoughts about religion. The same thing. Like, oh, it's like beautiful. I don't know, poetry or something. Like it's like, oh, you get to, hey, if you treat people nice because you believe in some spaghetti monster in the sky, yeah, cool. Like this kind of like that, I think, in a less insulting version of that. Like, God may not be there, but hey, it's okay to like hope you're okay, or hope you get better, or hope you don't get sick, or hope you score that touchdown, or whatever the fuck, right? Like it's that's the like not the characters. The character, I think, is getting she's getting her own like religious experience type of thing from all of that, right? Of praying for the one that's trying to harm you. I guess the character gets that, but the end story of the movie, or what like the point of all of that, like narrative wise, or what they're trying to say to the audience, I don't think they're trying to get the audience to walk away with, yeah, so when she starts praying, she gets paid off by God. A butterfly shows up and like kisses her hand or something and flies away. Like I don't think that's where the movie was going. I think I don't know. Maybe they were. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the end point. I thought it was a lot more about being critical of religions and this idea of control. Maybe they're talking about organized religion, but actual spiritual shit exists. I don't know. They didn't go far enough for me to like figure that out. I think. Does that make sense? Because if I'm thinking in that mode, like, did the girl wake up from the fucking sliced throat and the ripped open arm, and like, was that a miracle or something? Like, what was that? Am I supposed to read that as like, oh, this is like God is real and God was looking out for her. God gave her one more breath to save her friend, and then she reincarnated into a butterfly in wintertime and kissed her hand or something. I don't fucking know, man. I don't exactly know.
That scene was ridiculous with her like coming back to life, like so far later after her jugular was split open, like, and then she just died. So she just had one swing and died. That was real dumb.
Like and it was while she was praying too, right? The girl was praying and he's crawling towards her, and then it even looked like I think he was like thinking about it, like, do I kill her or do I not kill her? Hugh Grant, he's like, do I kill her or not? What do I do here? And then,
I think she should have killed him. That's like why not, right? You got a box cutter.
no,
or
she
something.
went to she was strictly praying, strictly.
Yeah, but she could have. Like
She could have, yeah.
she was. He was much slower. It
Yeah.
was like crawling like a monster, like a zombie.
Yeah, he had like the confused, like, you're fucking praying right now? Like, kind of thing. And it looked like he didn't know whether or not, like, do I stab you or do I. Like, we didn't really get like a full cue of what he was going to do. Like, he didn't like reach up for like a stabbing motion and then he got hit with the fucking spiked 2x4, right? Is almost like we didn't even get that, like, what he was going to do there. But either way, like he crawled up to her, and then boom, the friend hits him in the fucking head with a spiked fucking bat or whatever. Kills him.
Too, like, 'cause it looked like almost like he was going over there to like lay on her and die or something. But
Yeah.
but no. And before you can find out, she just gets resurrected and comes back and finishes him off.
Exactly. I was actually thinking. I was like, "Oh, is this some
Finish
sort of moment of him like, oh, no matter what I do, and you still hold on to your religion, maybe I was wrong." Like he's like crying on her shoulder. Oh, I had such trauma from my childhood and my, whatever my private school I went to. Oh, they beat me and traumatic, and my strict religious parents and like they're like, like he was like about to cry on her shoulder or something, but instead, I think he thought about stabbing. Like they showed like the weapon or something in his hand or something. I think, and then we just don't know what he was gonna do. Like he didn't even pump fake.
Bro,
at it.
you don't get it. You don't get it. The power of prayer brought the NPC back to life, killed the bad guy.
Oh, that was God. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a mixture of Christianity and simulation theory. No, actually, it's Christianity, but Mormonism. So she prayed to her Mormon god. The Mormon god reanimated this NPC to kill
Part 3.
the evil
I don't
atheist.
understand who would be the audience for this.
It's good for Christians aren't gonna like it. Atheists are gonna like it. I just don't.
Well, yeah, like the guy who was like teaching or whatever, he obviously was a killer at the same time, even though he wasn't like it looked like it was more meant to be logic, like a not a person. He didn't get the backstory. Like if you would have like what you were saying about his childhood, they didn't give us any of that. So
Yeah.
so he was more like just representing logic, but he also had his neck sliced open or something. So or he died too. So he didn't succeed. Kind
Yeah.
of.
I don't think he represented logic either. I think I don't think it was logic. I don't think that was the walk away thing. There's something to it, but I don't think it was logic. Maybe it's a type of logic. Maybe it's like hyper rationality. I don't know. I don't think he represented logic though. The whole situation is illogical in my opinion to do. Whatever.
Like he was wanting her to reason her way through what happened. Like he got excited when she was like
Yeah,
figuring
but
things out.
what is that? What is that as far as like the words you just used? What is that a core tenet of? I don't think it's the realm like we represent logic. Like no, you represent the world of like this idea of new atheism. I thought that was like kind of like where they were going with the character. Like he's like a Richard Dawkins asshole type guy. Pretty sure. He wants him to use like I want you to use your logic and reason. Meanwhile, he's kidnapping girls and shit. Like it does. Like I'm just saying. I don't think it was he represented logic. Like he was the archetypal representative of logic. I think he represented in a way its own ideology. While he's proclaiming no one like all these other things are about control. Like he's like literally using it as control, like to control her. Was it to teach her a lesson, or was it so that she ends up in a cage too? Like, so it's like I don't know if he represents logic in that scenario. I'm not sure. Like, wasn't he gonna like try to capture her or keep her there or something? Am I tripping?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was watching it, it makes sense. So your explanation makes more sense.
Like, yeah, like, yeah, like that was like a thing. Like, oh, reason and logic. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this movie was way more interesting than I thought it was. I mean, it's definitely interesting. I'll give it that. Like, it made me think about some of these things, but like, I thought all roads led to tacky. Like the end conclude, the thing it leads you to is just tacky to me. That's what I got from it, personally. But it's definitely
Like
interesting.
when she said, like, when I die, what comes back is a butterfly. It's like, well, we know how the movie's ended now with a lamb on his fucking hand.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what's happening with that? Like, did magic happen? Is it magic? What are they telling us? Maybe it's nothing. I don't know. Maybe it's just a
It's like
hodgepodge
they
to confuse us.
like the debate. Like, there's never every time this happens. Like, remember the Bill Nye debate where he debated like a Christian or something, and of course, like because like I'm bringing here's science, and then but the two things are not going to. You're never going to win in that debate. Like it's not a winnable debate on either side. So
Yeah.
then you go into the movie with that concept. It's like, well, it's not I just don't see how that's a winnable movie because you're going to have to say something, or if you say nothing, it's just weak sauce. And then if you do say something, but it's just you're pissing off 90% of the population. So
Yeah. No matter what you say at the end of the day.
yeah, no matter what.
So, damn, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What if it's a straight up it's a non risk taking position of like kind of just leaving it very vague to where maybe like no one feels bad at the end of the movie type thing.
And you end up making everybody feel bad because, like, the reason I was thinking, like, there's no real audience for this. I mean, like, from the messaging, like, which is the actual point. The story was crap, right? Like, but like they're trying to say a message, so fine. But if you're trying to reveal something,
Hmm.
then those who've seen it, it's like it was very shallow. Like it just scratched the surface. It wasn't really touching it too much. If you hadn't seen it, like you're not gonna
Okay.
get it from what they said. It was just too light, right? Like they didn't really have time to like dig in and really explain things.
Yeah.
So like you're already gonna have your conclusions before this because there wasn't really sufficient
I fuck.
exploration.
Maybe you were right. You said something. I think it was during the movie. You said it that might actually be correct about this, which is like it say this is all just brand new to you in general, as far as like because let's be like maybe not the movies like ideas are targeting teenagers, but the marketing, the idea like the way it looks and all that is definitely for kids to go watch a horror movie on Friday or Saturday night or whatever, right? For teenagers to go watch a horror movie type of thing. It's 100% like that style of movie. Like forget about the narratives, but the aesthetics and all that shit is 100% like teen horror movie thing, right? You take actors that are like around their age group. They're not. They're like what early 20 girls, early 20-year-olds. Like oh, that's the hot chick from that thing that they've seen before. It's like okay. So like maybe for a brand new, like you were saying during the movie, like a brand new person to learning that Jesus is based on some Egyptian guy that's based on some fucking Greek guy that's based on some other guy, like whatever, some caveman is based on some caveman that you know, like he's like the first guy who created fire. Like, oh my god, he's the one. They just kept building stories like on top of him or something. Like, yeah, that could be interesting for them, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. For them, maybe it's like, oh my god, what a deep movie. It, maybe that works for them, but I still see the tackiness of the thing to where it's like if those kids think this is the like hey like if I see some fucking 17-year-old pull me over on the street, hey, did you know about Mithras? Like I'm gonna fucking freak out. Like it's gonna freak me out, bro. I don't want to hear that shit from these motherfuckers. Like because the movie can't take a risk. These kids might let's say kids don't even look any deeper than what they're giving us in the movie, right? And it's like, damn, kind of a tacky lost point to even go there in the first place. Once again, unless there's some sort of cut out there that I just haven't you know, haven't seen it that actually like really goes there, like that makes the guy kind of ruthlessly about this idea. Like if you know as a creator and a writer, the core point of the thing is like about is like oh, religions are used to control people. If that's your end fucking thing you're walking away with, you're telling me this movie actually went there to like really showcase that, or maybe not even religion, just ideologies can do that. This movie did not go there to the length to fucking do it. They didn't go there, bro. That's why like for me it hurts the grade, man. Unless there's a cut, a director's cut that actually goes like to those places, it hurts the grade for me, man. It really does. But whatever. This is gonna be interesting grading. Very interesting. I'll start with recommendation. I recommend it. Look what it did here. Why are we still talking about this movie? Well, that means I recommend it. There you go. But
Wait, after all this, you recommended this movie?
I'm gonna recommend it, dude. We're here for 40 minutes right now talking about this fucking movie. I have to recommend it. Like, I'd be mad at me if I didn't see this movie. Like, if I did like a time machine. If you don't fucking watch this, you idiot. Not saying I learned some sort of grand idea in the fucking movie.